based on interest-bearing debt, so it is inherently bad.
And it's completely out of our control.
It's completely out of our control. It's absolutely. It's a thinly designed system of slavery. Is all our money is. It's designed to keep people in a state of shortage. Excuse me. Personally, I don't think we need any medium of trade. I think the biggest medium of trade is friendship and honesty. All we need to do is build community, look within the person next to you and see yourself, and I think it eliminates the need for any form of currency. Personally, that's what I'd like to see.
What are your thoughts on meditation and other quote-unquote New Age things like that?
Well, meditation isn't necessarily New Age. It may have been hijacked by the New Age. Excuse me. But meditation is simply a form of inner reflection. I mean, but there's all different deceptive things about meditation as well. People will say, oh, you need to look within yourself and free your mind of chatter and all this sort of stuff, which if anybody has ever looked within their mind, it's almost impossible to free it of chatter because your left brain's just going hell for leather all day. You know, 60,000 thoughts a day.
It is.
What meditation truly is to concentrate on a feeling. If you look at some Eastern mysticism, you look at a Tibetan priest, for example, or even an Indian, a Native American having a prayer, what they actually do is put themselves in an energetic state. They put themselves in an emotional state. This is something that I talk about on a lot of my radio shows and in my films, the fact that your emotions are literally a language. You're speaking the language of emotion, the language of feeling and emotion all day without realizing it. And meditation is simply understanding these emotions and immersing yourself within these emotions. If you can look at love, as I said earlier, as being simply an energetic state, and you can put yourself in that warm, fuzzy, energetic state and concentrate on that state and delve deeply within that state, within yourself, that is true meditation to me. And it's been kind of hijacked by the New Age movement. You know, you've got to sit there and do the little guru pose and have your finger and thumb touching each other in lotus position. And
you have to do it just right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just rubbish. I mean, I can sit in my chair and close my eyes, put myself in that warm, fuzzy, energetic state and delve deeply within it and come out absolutely energized. And that's what meditation is. It's a connection with the field, because when you understand that everything is energy, everything is the field, and this love, that warm, fuzzy, energetic state that we call love is the matrix itself. That is the purest energy in the universe. When you can immerse yourself in that energy and experience that energy for what it is, that is true meditation, and it's a very enlightening experience.
Have you ever tried anything like ayahuasca?
No, I haven't actually. I know people who have, and I actually had a very intense meditation experience a couple of years ago where I just seemed to connect with the entire universe, and I was everywhere all at once. And a lot of people that have heard me describe that meditation have said, that sounds like an ayahuasca experience or sounds like a DMT experience. And my reply to that has been, well, that's, to me, is then proof that you don't need ayahuasca to get there. I can see that it might be helpful for some people to see where they have to go, to see what they're trying to strive for, but I don't think it's something that should be used for entertainment. I think it would be more of a shamanistic tool, and I can see that it probably has benefits, but no, I haven't tried it myself.
No, you're absolutely right. It's not something for entertainment. You can have terrible, terrible experiences if you try to do it for fun. Yeah. You have to do it for the right reason, the right mindset. And
you have to have the right set and setting, and but that is one thing that everything has to be right in order to do. We have another question. We have several other questions, actually. Here's one. What's your opinion, maybe Freeman could answer this one as well, on the BP oil spill? Was it a ritualistic sacrifice? April 20th is the transition from the ram to the bull on the Zodiac.
There are a number of 420 events, and I find them very curious, with Columbine, Waco, the Pope visiting the White House. Let's see, was he at Ground Zero? Yeah, he went to Ground Zero and gave a blessing of eternal light. This 420 event has been something that just keeps popping up, but honestly, I haven't sussed it out as far as the occult meanings of it all. So,
well, if it's a transition from the ram to the bull, that kind of says something right there.
Something I've noticed, that there was a pentagram being formed. A couple of people posted it on YouTube. I was looking at it myself as well. There was a pentagram being formed if you draw lines between, I think it's like 9/11 and things like Katrina and Waco. And,
I've seen that, yeah.
There was one point of the star missing. And that point was in the Gulf of Mexico, and there were a lot of people in 2008, myself included, that said we're going to see a disaster in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, wow.
So that is one thing. And also, when it happened, I mean, it was right on cue. They tried Copenhagen. They didn't get anything through in Copenhagen because everyone sussed out that it was basically just going to be handing control of the world over to the IMF and World Bank, and everyone pulled out. But they were trying to get all of these things through, and we didn't really think they were going to go away, did we? I mean, of course they're going to try something new. And then right on cue, we have this oil spill, and suddenly it's the terrible humans destroying the planet again, and we've got to bring in all these carbon taxes and all these laws and all these things they didn't get through in Copenhagen. And then everyone's saying, where's Al Gore? And then he appears on his white charger at the end with this new film to save us all.
Oh, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking with Max Igan and Freeman. We'll be right back. TruthFrequencyRadio.com. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. TruthFrequencyRadio.com is the website, and we are speaking with Max Igan and Freeman. And we're coming up with solutions rather than information. We've got tons of information out there. It's time to talk about solutions. And I have a question for you, Freeman. How are you seeing differences between the way people live in the United States and the way they live in Australia?
Well, I have to admit that I've only been to the most beautiful parts of Australia. I have not seen even the city one bit. What I see are a collection of people that are so blessed with mountaintop palaces that just spew food out as fast as you can possibly deal with it. There's stacks of vegetables just piling around these people, and it's just glorious in its beauty. So as you're here, then, I mean, the common phrase around here is, are you vegan or are you just vegetarian? And we were really seeing the difference in how the mindset of, say, when I went to England and watched these people all hyped up on their caffeine, racing from one stop sign to the next in their barrier of a city that has buildings dominating their every reflection. And out here, where it's just open, expansive mountaintops. We're in a volcano here, one of the most ancient volcanoes on planet Earth, and it's just beauty all over the place. You don't have pigeons, you have parrots. You know, everything has color, and it's dynamic and amazing, and the sounds and all of that. So the people have become quite more nurturing, and therefore have this mindset of community that's easily placed in this area. And, you know, the entire population of Australia is equivalent to the city of New York. So what we can see here is the potential if the people's mindsets were set to do so, because they need to be brought awake and aware to the situation that it's time to act. Now, everyone I meet across this planet wants to just grow a garden, enjoy their friends, and enjoy their life. I have met hundreds of thousands, if not even 1 million people in my travels, and all of them have the same game plan. There's a few out there that have more of a ambition to control their reality and their world, but mostly I find people that just want to enjoy and do what is before them. And that's really the mindset that they've crafted us into, is this future think, this sense of worry. Now here in Australia, they've got the phrase, no worries. Really, that's the catchphrase, and a lot of things like this that I see when we look to England, and you were on a train there, and they say, mind the gap when you alight from the train. And I felt all fresh and breezy as I was minding my gap and alighting, you know, because these were the words intoned. As when I was in America, and I get off a train or a bus, and it says, watch your step, you know, it's very more guttural, much more German type of dominance in the language. So very subtle frequencies like that. But what has to happen here is that the people got to realize the abundance they have in Australia, and then use that force to then help cater to the world. And so we see it all over the place. I just see that a mindset of community cooperation of a national scale could be formed right here in Australia very easily.
Amazing. That sounds like paradise. It really does.
That's actually exactly what I'm trying to form with these community meetings I'm having. We figured that if we can wake up Australia, well, we can wake up an entire country, and that'll send a shockwave around the world. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, actually.
Well, I hope you succeed, really, because that sounds exactly the type of life that I want. There's two people in this world. There's the people that want to be left alone and the people that won't leave them alone. Let me ask you this, though. Hold on, I just had my question here, and I lost it. Oh, okay. Let's go to another question from the chat. Have either of you seen the Lucas presentation on the spirals?
Yeah, I've seen the Lucas presentation.
I'm actually friends with Lucas on certain levels because, you know, I'm a Brave New Books inhabitant. And what I found most amazing about Lucas's thing after I talked to him about 3 hours, he then seemed to go into a bit of seclusion, so I wasn't able to really get an interview. But what is most amazing about Lucas's presentation is that he was formulating this whole concept, already had the PowerPoint presentation created before the Norway spiral ever occurred.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you know that we had one of them here in Australia about 3 months ago?
Yes.
I heard
yes.
about it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole East Coast. You could see it from Victoria up to Queensland. You could see it for around about 2,000 to
Good Lord,
3,000.
that's big.
And what do you...
That was the same day as the SpaceX launch.
Right, I remember that because we had you on the broadcast and I asked you about that. What are your thoughts on that, Max? What is that spiral?
Well, that's anybody's guess, really. It's pretty remarkable, though, that we're seeing them all around the place. I mean, all I can really do is speculate, so I'm not really prepared to do that. But, I mean, yeah, all I can really offer is speculation. I think it's very interesting, absolutely.
Well, we have to speculate. That's the way we come up with the facts.
Exactly.
We did cover the cloud of care last time we talked about that, right?
No, I don't think we
so.
did.
I don't
No.
think so.
Oh, well, hell, you guys need this then.
Well, it could be unity as well. It could be a signal for a sign of unity. You know, the Mayan handshake. At the end of my radio shows, I say in Lakesh all the time. There's a Mayan handshake that goes with that, which actually your hand looks like a spiral. The two hands joined together look like a spiral. It could be a call for unity.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I would think so. I don't think that if there are extraterrestrials that are on their way or they're starting to arrive now, I don't think they're here to screw the whole planet up or make it any
Let me nip that
worse.
one in the bud if I could.
Okay.
Because I was covering the cloud of care in America month before the Norway spiral. And we watched it live on my website. And I covered it live on my radio show on the Free Zone. And what we're doing is they're launching this rocket out of the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia, which is also known as Mars. This is the Mid-Atlantic region spaceport. And they launched this rocket up out of there. And what they were doing, what they announced that they were doing, and it was the military that was launching this rocket, was to launch an aluminum oxide cloud up into the upper atmosphere, right about the same height as the International Space Station, about 183 miles up into the atmosphere. They launched this rocket, which had an ejection of aluminum oxide, which they said they wanted to test noctilucent clouds. So it was a military investigation into noctilucent clouds. Then on top of that, they said, we want to spread this aluminum oxide cloud, which they called CARE, because it was the Charged Aerosol Release Experiment. And they wanted to test how much particulate matter comes out of rocket launches. And so I thought that quite curious. But here was this cloud of care covered live on my radio show as it's launched, and they emit this cloud of aluminum oxide. It opens up to look like a large black hole in the atmosphere and then sucks in on itself. Now, I had talked about some of the alien programming that they are introducing now. When you see Hillary Clinton walking around with Lawrence Rockefeller and they're carrying the book Are We Alone? A Study of Extraterrestrial Civilizations by Paul Davies, or when you see that they're putting Buzz Aldrin on Dancing with the Stars or on 30 Rock or even Worldwide Wrestling, then you see that they're programming this extraterrestrial concept into the system of the rest of humanity, those that only